So I think we were at basically the turning point when you realised, was this becoming something within Freeride?
Yeah, I knew it was happening probably when Cranked came out. Because, we did Pulp Traction, and that was the first movie that had free riding in it. And I thought we were going to be rock stars, because I remember seeing the skiers in Greg Stump ski movies, and they were rock stars, and I thought it was going to happen. It didn't happen, really. We actually were frowned upon, and we got in a lot of trouble from, the Sierra Club and IMBA, and we got in a lot of trouble.
Tires in the dirt problem?
Exactly. Yeah. And we were riding off trail, and we were bad people, and there was comments in Bike Magazine and stuff. And we actually, for a few years after that, would just film in gravel pits, because even though we were riding everything, clay and rock and just a little bit of everything that we could ride, we got in trouble for it. So we just rode in the gravel pits, because the gravel pits are getting churned up anyway. So we couldn't get in trouble for it. So everyone just thought we rode gravel pits. But we didn't. We just filmed that because, it was okay.
Yeah.
And it was actually quite dramatic too, because the sand flies up and it's kind of like skiing powder and whatnot. So it worked for the camera, but at the same time, we were riding everything. We just didn't film it because we didn't want to get a slap on the hand.
So at this point, were you like a weekend warrior? How were you funding sort of biking all the time? What did life look like then?
So I hadn't gone pro yet. I hadn't gotten paid yet. I was planting trees. So by law in Canada, when you log a certain area, you had to plant so many trees to make up for it. So we'd go in and plant these little tiny trees, larch trees and spruce trees and pine trees. And you'd carry hundreds of these trees and carry a shovel and you'd plant trees. And, I was trying to save up money, to not have to work in the winter so I could focus on snowboard racing. And we'd just mountain bike at night or on the weekends and whatnot. And then I didn't get paid to mountain bike until the fall of '97, when Rocky Mountain had the world's first professional freeride team called the Freeriders, which was myself, Wade Simmons, and Richie Schley. And we were, put in an ad in Bike Magazine introducing the Rocky Mountain Freeriders, with 6 inches of travel. And that's just the hair. Because we did an ad, and Cannondale had sent us a cease and desist legal letter saying, you can't call yourself the Freeriders because we trademarked the word freeride. And we're like, you can't trademark freeride. It was a new word, but it was like trying to trademark skateboarding or skiing or whatever.
Yeah.
And so instead of going into a heated court case, we said, we put another ad out, and they said, did we say introducing the Rocky Mountain Freeriders? So we went to say introducing the Rocky Mountain Freeriders. And we had these giant afro wigs on and just kind of was joking around. And a little bit of controversy, a little bit of humor works, and it really caught on with the media. And so in the spring of '98, they sent myself, Richie, and Wade to Riva de Garda Bike Festival. And we went over there, and we met Tarek Rassouli and Hans Ray and Tibor Samai and a bunch of different riders at the time who were all, racing. And we were trying to spread the word of freeride to the world. We'd done some filming for Cranked, where we went down to Utah and Colorado and rode some of those lines down there, which was amazing because, you look at those spots now and there's lines everywhere.
Yeah.
And back then there was no lines anywhere. We were just picking fresh lines, and it was a different landscape. So when we went to Europe for this, I think it was the biggest mountain bike outdoor festival in Europe at the time, the Riva de Garda Festival. People didn't know what to make of us. And it was cool, but it was starting to catch on, and people were into it, and it was a new thing, and it was really fresh. It was really exciting. People were like, free riding. And I remember stopping, there's some single tracks in Riva de Garda where we were riding along single track, and then Wade and I would stop and let's air off the single track and go into that gravel scree field. And we would air off it, and people would be stopping on their cross country bikes and we're airing off the trail into these rocks. And then trying to ride down and not trying, but doing it, riding down steep rocks, looking for things to freeride. And it was also new, and it was just a rad time, but it was gaining traction. And when Cranked premiered, the premieres that I remember were one was at Sea Otter in California. And we went down there, and I watched Sean Palmer versus John Tomac in the finals for the dual slalom. It was super cool. Wow. And then they premiered Cranked there, and Palmer showed up, and he ended up, someone threw an afro wig on him, and Sean Palmer was on the dance floor with an afro wig and partied with him a bit, and it was just super cool. And in Riva de Garda, the same thing was happening. Some people didn't know what to make of us, and we're kind of like, who are these free riders? Like, what's going on? But the movement was rolling. And then there's other people who were, you know, riding just for fun and riding more and more aggressive things. So people were coming out of the woodwork from different areas, and people were meeting each other that were free riders and into having a good time and doing gnarlier and gnarlier things.
What was like the definition then? You know what I mean? Because it's hard enough to define what it really means now. Like right at the beginning, it must have been like...
Yeah, well, to me, free riding was just riding for fun. It was the absence of competition. You weren't on the clock. You weren't going for points. You were just jamming. You were just out there to ride something that challenged your personal skills and the trying to push the level of what was possible on a bicycle, seeing what it could do and couldn't do. And it was all just about expressing yourself by riding something steep or doing a big jump or jumping off a building or just seeing what was possible and just having fun doing it. It was funny because Freeriders in German translated to fun riders, lucky enough. Right. So that was perfect. Yeah. And so we were not just trying to push what was, you know, possible on a bicycle, but also trying to like promote the lifestyle of maybe not going to college, maybe not getting a 9-to-5 job, maybe just doing whatever you can do to go and just ride your bike all the time and not be training for a race to beat someone. I'm better than you because you're not as good as I. You know, you're just there to jam. And like we're out there and we're trying to cheer each other on to ride things and push our limits and to do lines and clean lines, to ride your bike down without putting your foot down. And it was just all about jamming. And
was the industry receptive to it? Or was there any pushback from brands not wanting to get involved with Freeride? Or
yeah, at the beginning, people, you know, had their roots firmly based in racing.
Yeah.
And a lot of these racers were looking at us like, that's what's going on, you know. And
Okay. Hey, man, what an episode that was. You did amazing in it.
And so did you.
You shone like a star.
You shone like a moon.
Can we also put something up here that you can click on for the next episode?
How about we put a subscribe up there in the middle?
Yeah,
we're going to put a video we think that our lovely companionship will love on your face.
On my face?
Yeah.
And so they can't see me now?
Gone. And on my face, another video that we think people will love. And thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Please hit like and subscribe. You guys are the best.
Peace and love.